Hey y'all, welcome to Rubber Duck Thursday. I'm Kadesha, and I'm so happy you're here with me today. We have a sweet stream here lined up for you. We're going to continue working on that project we started last week, the Build with Copilot repository. So if you don't know what Rubber Duck Thursday is, Rubber Duck Thursday is a weekly stream where we literally just come together, we build, we vibe, we code, we learn. I answer your questions, you answer my questions, and we just vibe. Honestly, it's just a chill show where we come together once a week and do something amazing and build some applications. Now, I need to ship the apps that we actually build, but that's another story. So today, I brought Ari back to the stream so we can finish the front end of the application. So last week, if you go to this link right here, you'll see a repository that walks you through how to build an app using GitHub Copilot. And so this week, we're going to finish building that application because last week, we were able to spin up the backend in no time. But before we pop into that stream, I want to tell you about something super exciting that we shipped today. Hello. Thanks for saying hi, everybody. Hello. Welcome. How are you doing, by the way? How is your week going? I'm here in Chicago in the US. So for me, it's been a short week. And I literally can't believe it's Thursday. Literally. But let's get into the content. So I'm going to put this screen on my other screen as usual. Boop. And then I'm going to bring up my screen because I want to tell you about what we shipped today. So if you didn't know, today we shipped our remote MCP server. So the official GitHub remote MCP server is now generally available, which is super exciting. Let's see, share screen, entire screen one. Let me bring this up here. Great. So the remote GitHub MCP server is now generally available. And so why is this important? Why is this important, Kadesha? Why should I care? Well, you give your LLMs access to GitHub. And in addition to making it super easy for you to install our MCP server, we also shipped it with some really, really good features. So let's go to this release right here. Woo! The remote GitHub MCP server is now generally available. This is very exciting, okay? So let's go through some of the key improvements. So the first improvement we made was we made available premium tools. So you can now use the Copilot coding agent. You can use secret scanning with push protection, and you can use code scanning alerts. These are all now integrated into the GitHub MCP server. How amazing is that, right? So you can give your LLM, you can give Copilot access and context to all that information and all those tools. We also made available security advisories, sub-issue management. There's been pull request workflow improvements. We enhanced GIS and discussion support. We also improved session management and pagination. And this is really, really good. It's almost like the full suite of GitHub is now available to your LLMs, which is chef's kiss. So definitely go forth and install the GitHub MCP server by going to our repository here. And one fun thing I learned is that the GitHub MCP server is the most popular MCP server on GitHub. So that's super cool. So I'm going to pop the link down here for you. GitHub MCP server. And go forth and use. I'm excited to see how you integrate the GitHub MCP server in your workflows. And now that it's generally available, it means, you can go forth and do everything that you want. If you ever have questions or issues, you can always submit an issue here or a PR here to solve whatever problem or add any feature that you think is missing. So that's pretty cool. I'm happy you think it's cool too. I'm super excited. Let's see. Okay, great. So now I guess let's get into the stream. I'm going to stop sharing my screen here and bring Ari up because the time goes pretty quickly.
Hello. Hey. Hello there. How you doing? Thanks for having me back.
Yeah, of course. We have to finish what we start. So welcome back to the stream. Super excited to have you on again.
Yeah, happy to be here. I'm debugging a couple situations here with our API, but other than that, we're pretty much good to go. Let me just make this a little bit larger. Hopefully everyone can see this clearly. So this is where we kind of left off last time, is that we had completed the API, the REST API endpoint. For all of our users, teams, activities, workouts, and leaderboard for our OctoFit tracker app. And as Kadesha said, you have the link to the repository so you can clone that and make your own version to play around with it and to walk through that exercise. But as you can see here, we have an error here with users, but that's okay. We'll fix that. But for some of the other API endpoints, we have a team, the teams that are listed here. We have some duplication. Obviously, there's some iterations that we can do to fix that. We need a better ID mechanism, but this is what it gave us last time, what we started with. We have workouts listed here. I believe that works as well for our leaderboard. I think it's just workouts. Actually, it might just be, let me see. Yeah, it's just activities and users. So what I did was I took a tip from Kadesha last time, and I copied this error that we're getting, and and then I put that, and I'm going to say, can you fix this issue? And as you can see, I pasted that image already in there, which works pretty nice. I sometimes copy the text like I've done before, but I do like your method of just pasting the image and it has that.
Yeah. It's also easier too because it can see every single thing. But before we keep going,
sure.
Ari, remind us of what we're working on today.
Yeah. So if we start from the beginning here, we started with this nice skills exercise, which you gave the link to already. We clone this by right-clicking We were able to open this up in a new tab. Obviously, I already have this created with this default name, so it's going to come up red, but you can name this whatever you want. And I can add something to this and it will allow me to create it. And then you get your own version of this skills exercise here, where then you can start, you click this, and then you would come up to this issue, that basically comes to this issue to start this process of walking through each step. So we did the first of just like getting into the agent mode, setting up our code space, which is what we have here. We continue to go in, create a specific branch. So we copied this prompt to create this build OctoFit app branch. And this app is just a hypothetical high school that we created called Mergington High, where a phys ed teacher is trying to create a competitive fit tracker app for his students, maybe teachers, staff. And that's what this starts to get us into. This, you'll see something similar to this. We already kind of walked through that last time. And then step 2 is kind of laying out the structure of the app, the Python requirements that we'll need. And that is like the first activity in this step that you do. We successfully did that. So we got a nice pass from Mona that was action that was running in the background to validate that we did that properly and we had the correct contents of the file. And then we get into creating the Django app and the structure for that. And what we did was we started to, and I also last time I got some great feedback from DevRel folks on some improvements to make to this. So I added some docs at the top here for prompt files. I also let people know like what we're doing here, that we're using these prompt files and what they're about, just like what it means to create a prompt file and what's in it. And you can you can just open this link and kind of dive deeper into, I thought that would go directly to our prompts files. I thought that, oh, here it is. Boom. So this is just more details about prompt files, and you can actually click here and they have some really good examples too. So if you, besides what I've written in this exercise and you create your own, you can kind of look through these examples to get ideas of how you want to craft your prompt files, what mode you want to work in, what model you want to use, a nice description. In this case too, it also indicates what tools you may want to use. So Codebase and GitHub repo as part of the tools that are involved with this prompting. I don't know if we have any questions too while I'm running through this. I also want to pause for questions.
Yeah, I'm not seeing any coming through yet.
Okay. And so then we did another prompt file. I also added some good indication that if you see this from the agent mode that returns to basically start the app, that we don't want to do that. And I gave an example of what we want to cancel there, because we're going to use our predefined launch.json that's part of the VS Code code space. And we're able to run that app that way, the way that we want it to. And what that means is in this little window here, we already started the app, and it creates, once it's started, you can pause it, you can restart it. It has debug enabled. So if it gets blocked in any way, it will stop on that breakpoint. You can set breakpoints, but it will stop on any failures and you can debug that. As you can see in the bottom here, it's running and it's on port 8000. And that's what we have here. I don't know if this, and it did fix this for us, which is awesome.
Nice.
So we have API. I believe the only one we don't have is activities. So I'm going to do what I did before and show you how I did that. Is I'm going to take a screen capture of this error. Obviously use whatever screen capture software you like to use. I like this one because it's pretty handy and allows me to also annotate.
Which one is that?
I think it's called iScreenShotter, I believe is the name of it. iScreenShotter. Which I don't know if that's what they named it, but it works really well because when you're taking screenshots, I can show you real quick. You can outline it. You can like
Cool.
blur over things. You can annotate. I love it. I use it. It's pretty handy because it just with a nice shortcut key, you can set up any shortcut key you want to just enable it. So I use it a lot when I just kind of want to copy and paste immediately into something. I know there's tons of ways to do that out there today, but that's what works for me. Fix these errors, and I misspelled that.
You know, I've learned that Copilot is pretty good at inferring meaning, even if you have a typo.
Yes, I've noticed that.
Which is great.
Thank you, Copilot, for that, because that I definitely do that. I do a lot of misspellings. That's why I love spell check. All right, let's see if we fixed. It says it fixed it for us. Let's see, and boom, we got it.
And boom.
There's definitely some issues here where we probably would want to go back and make sure we have like unique keys and things like that. Mm-hmm. That's why, like when I said when we went to teams, like we shouldn't be showing duplicate teams here. So that's definitely something that can be iterated on, but I didn't want to take up too much time because we're really here is go to the next step of the front end of this app.
The front end.
The front end. So yeah, so we've completed all of these steps here. And now we did this step, I believe. It's actually waiting for us to check in that code. And obviously this is the image that is very similar to what you just saw that we created. And I can close that. And then let's go back to close that. And we'll go back here and let's check in our changes. We'll have Copilot write our lovely commit message for us because it does it so much better than I do. And we'll push those changes up. Hopefully we, let's see, we should have hit all our, yeah, I think that's right. Looks right. Let's see what Mona, the action running in the background, tells us so we can go on to the next step. Oh, boom. So it was happy that what we check for in these files, just to give people a little bit of background, is the URL. I'm checking to make sure that it updated with this this endpoint here. Doesn't matter what your code space in, but as long as that's in the file, it knows that it's at least has that there, as well as in the not in serializers, in settings. We also have that here, so it's looking for us to also have that in that file. Just make sure everything's still okay. Yep. Awesome. So now that we completed that step, we're really now able to go to the front end part of this. Let me go. There is a bug here that we have to fix in our skills where after you complete an exercise, it pops you back to the top of that page, and not sure why, but that's something for a later time to dig into. But we're going to do in this step, just to outline, is we're going to install the React framework, update the components, and start that app, the React front end, which is going to be on port 3000. And we have several prompts here to help guide us there, as well as the custom instructions that we created for that too. So as we talked about last time when we did this, we double tapped into some of these custom instructions. And one of the ones that we have here is just about the front end. And I did add some more information on like making sure we do this in this directory. Make sure we're using these types of commands to create everything. We're pointing to the directory as well to guide Copilot to know exactly where we want to create everything in our structure that we've already laid out. So that's where these instructions come in handy. I also have a part here where we'll add our OctoFit our little icon there into the app, hopefully in the front end. And so let's get started on that part. So yeah, let's install that piece here. I'm gonna also someone from DevRel recommended this, and I'm gonna do a clean chat here.
Yes.
I'm gonna close. I have found too that you get better responses when you clean it out And in each one of these steps in the exercise, I put a preamble that says, start with a new chat. I don't think you have to do it for every activity if it's in the same kind of space, like the back end, everything we're doing there. But if we're going to the front end, we probably want to change out to that. So let me copy, and I already copied. Let me paste and see what Copilot comes back with us. I am using GPT 4.1, but as I told Kadesha, I am loving Claude Sonnet 4. It is awesome.
Yes, it's awesome.
So already I'm noticed it's not paying attention for some reason to our instructions. It's not using the right directory. So before I actually hit continue here to show folks some of that conversation that you might do with agent mode, if there's something that comes back that maybe you don't agree with or you're not happy with the response, I'm going to say, let's point to OctoFit tracker. Yep. Front end directory. And now it did the right thing by just me kind of prompting that. I want to find out why it did not follow my custom instruction there, but if anyone has any idea, I'd love to know, because it really should, since I pointed that out in multiple places there. So
it really should have, yeah.
Something for me to debug afterwards and figure out what the solution there is, or maybe it's a bug, but I know I've used it before and it does point to the right directory structure.
Yeah, same.
React app.
So now it's
yeah.
React app.
Yeah, it's installing all our packages. So let me kind of tidy up here on the left side so we can just look at what's happening on the front end. It's adding all our node modules here in our package.json. It's installing everything. It's getting just set up for that front end framework.
And is it planning to use, I guess, like V to Next.js and all that stuff?
Yeah. Yeah. If we look at the custom instructions again,
yeah.
We use Bootstrap.
Okay.
And then we import this into the Bootstrap file, and then we also used a React router DOM so that we have that it knows where to route everything through for the API part. I believe that's what that's for. And this takes a little bit of time, not too long, but it does take probably one of the longest out of all of the steps here in the whole exercise. This part takes the longest, just waiting for everything to get installed for all the modules.
Set up, yeah.
Yeah. And as you can see, it already created like the modules, and it's grayed out because it's part of our ignore list. We're not checking in all these lovely modules. Yeah. Yeah. .git ignore here. Like if we look at that file, we can see all our node modules are ignored. All right, we're moving through now. Now we're installing NPM dependencies. Or should I using installing the templates, and it's using NPM to install all of this. And now let's see what happens. Now we should see it edit our Bootstrap file after it does the React. I'm going to say again, install React. I'm going to say point to the Octo. Oh,
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know why it should know to do that, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely should. I wonder what's happening there.
Yeah, if anyone in our audience has ideas or you have ideas, please share.
Is it using the reference? Like if you click down on the use two references, what files is it looking into?
So I know
up top, like in the generated, it says use two references. You know how?
Yeah. It is talking. Oh, it's using the setup.
Oh, it's using the setup instructions.
Which is
that may be what the issue is.
Yeah, let me see. See, that's strange because it should also take into account this, because I say apply to everything under our app directory. So
Mm.
I would expect it to do that, just like even for this one, it's doing that. But maybe that's something that I have to, maybe I need to change this to front end, and maybe that will help it out.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's what's missing there from that instruction.
Oh,
I think that might be
maybe.
the issue. It also, like I said before, it updated to put the bootstrap in our index JavaScript
Mhm.
file. And I believe, just making sure, yeah, that's fine. So now we're at the point now where we were able to at least set up the structure, install all of the Node.js dependencies for our React front end. And now what this is doing is a lot here, but essentially we are going to create all these different components for activities, leaderboard, teams, users, and workouts. Update anything related to our app.js and index.js that's needed as part of that. I have some stuff too about using the code space name here and the component name. Make sure the correct port is being used for HTTPS. I have found that sometimes if you don't specify that, you get a lot of different creativity from Copilot. So that's why a lot of this stuff is in there as part of the prompt. And let's see if we do that.
And so is there a specific way? Is there like a best way to prompt Copilot? Or do we have to format our prompts the way that you did? What do you think?
No, I don't think you need to form them the way that I did. I think what I always say too, and I think I said this last time, is start with a general goal. And then you may also, I like to always, like if I'm doing something in an order, I like to bullet them in an order like we did up above here.
Yeah.
Or if it's doesn't have to be in a specific order, maybe I want a step-by-step and I just wanted bulleted items. I like to bulletize in my prompt so it knows like to look at each one separately. That's how I do it. But there's best practices for prompting that we have available. I don't have the link handy. I don't know if you do, Kadesha, but that could be another. Actually, let me see if I can bring that up.
Yeah, I don't know if I see.
I can go look for that real quick too while that's working.
Best practices for prompting. Let's see.
Use Ask Copilot in our docs. I'm sure it has it. This practice is.
I do see this prompt engineering for GitHub Copilot in our docs here.
Yeah.
So while that's going, there's a comment here. Okay. So I've been trying out Copilot PR reviews today. Been really liking them. It spotted some styling stuff I miss, though honestly the big summary blob it does for each review is rather noisy in my opinion, especially when re-requesting reviews. I don't need it to tell me in a review what the PR does. That's what the PR description is for. Any way to disable it. I agree, and I actually noticed that same thing this week. Just really noticed it, and I was just like, oh, that is, I don't really need all of that all the time. I don't know if there's any way to disable it.
I'm not aware of them. Oh, I can't. Seems I can't post a comment. Oh, sure.
About GitHub PR reviews.
This is the link I found on Prompt Engineer. I just sent it to you, Kadesha. For some reason, I can't comment in the.
Yeah. Let's see. But yeah, I don't know if there's any way to disable it, but I'll definitely bring the feedback. Let me actually take a screenshot of your comment because I actually just noticed that.
That's a good question.
Yeah, I actually just noticed that this week, and I had the same feelings.
Yeah, I kind of wish there was a way, like when you ask for the review or you set the automatic review, like you can do in a repo for Copilot to review automatically, that there's an option to skip that. Like maybe that's a verbosity or something like that.
Yeah.
You can just shut that off.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we use the same thing. Yeah. So this does give some best practices on, prompting and crafting your prompts when working with Copilot. All right,
Yeah.
so it's still going, huh?
Yeah, it's still putting all the components together. And our next step as part of this is really to start it. And then the rest is really iterating it kind of to make it look nice and pretty, because you should see something like this when it's all said and done, at least with these high level headings. But then I have this last activity to kind of put stuff in tables and forms and clean things up. And then I have some optional activities that can be done there. But let's see where we're at now. I guess we're done.
Oh, it's done.
It's done with that part.
It runs.
Cross your fingers. All right, let's see. So now I'm going to hit play for our launcher.
Yeah. Here. And I'm seeing quite a few components. There's activities, leaderboard, teams, users, workout. Wow, it did a lot of work really quickly.
All right, let's see what we get.
Let's see.
Boom. Let me make this a little bit bigger. Let's see if we have data. Now, not the neatest data the way it looks. It's very JSON formatted, although it seems to do this where it puts it, and obviously there's the data from our database, so it's showing everything, which is, we can fix that on the back end for the data. But here, like we have duplicates of users, so there needs to be some primary keys and set up so we're using, everything's unique. Even these are all duplicated. I think it might have been because when I set it up, it added data and added the same data, and it should prevent you from doing that. But I think that's easily fixed, and we can iterate on that. But at least right now we have a app up and running, which we can always iterate on. And then we can, I also in the docs added this so people know, like you can hit continue if you get this up when you first open the React or the Django backend and the React front end, that you'd get this kind of warning about that you're going, that it's being served on a code space. You could just hit continue. And then this is very similar to what we're looking at right now in our app. So, and then if we keep going here, maybe we can get something that's a little bit prettier. So let's try iterating on that. Again, I kind of said, like, let's make the app.js components, JavaScript files, consistent with the following. And I kind of listed those things off. I probably even could simplify this more. I've been iterating on this exercise for folks for a while, and I'm constantly finding improvements. I get great feedback from folks on our team, as well as DevRel and other folks, as well as the audience here. So I'm always looking to improve it, so like it's very easy to set up this app and walk through the exercise. I think there is value though in seeing the mistakes that are made and then having agent mode fix those for you. Either it self heals the mistakes that it recognizes, or we're copy and pasting like we did with a screenshot and showing what that looks like. I think there's a lot of value in that.
Absolutely.
We are reading all the files, and now it's going to make some updates for us. Hopefully they're all good updates.
Let's see.
All right, so it did activities. That doesn't look much better.
No, it's still formatting it in JSON. And so maybe explicitly call that out, like show it what it looks like on the UI, like take a picture.
Actually.
Tell it how do we want it to look?
Actually, that's what I was going to say was show all data for all components in a table format instead of JSON.
Yeah.
Let's see what that can do. I might have to switch to Claude Sonnet 4, I think, to get exactly what we want.
I'm telling you. 4.1 is really good, though. It's really good. It's honestly incredible what all these models can do and how far they are, especially when you connect them to like MCP servers. It's really, really fascinating. It's really incredible.
Yeah, I love working in and what is this issue again? I know there was an issue about this, and just like asking the MCP server to find that issue for me and then like describe it, Like, what are
Yes,
the what is there a comment that has this in it and it can come back with that? Like, it's pretty amazing.
yes. Like an MCP server I'm obsessed with these days is the Playwright MCP server.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my goodness, because like you can give Copilot a design and then tell it to use the Playwright MCP server until it matches the design pixel for pixel, and it's incredible to see Copilot open up a
Wow.
browser, take screenshots, like actually like enter data. Like it's fascinating.
I got to take a look at that because I saw actually Geek Trainer has a video out on that. So I really need to take a
Yeah.
look at that.
Yeah, I think next week's stream I'm gonna be using the Playwright MCP server to continue building the app that we were building. And there we go.
Prettier.
Yeah.
Still work to do here on the data on the back end, but as you can see, we did pretty this up a bit. I wonder what that does. Wow, it gets you right to activities.
It's looking like a much better MVP.
yeah. Still needs work on the data and what we're doing on the data structure and the formatting of the data there. But the actual Django part, and the way the Django backend and the front end that we have for React is working as expected. If we wanted to continue on to, we could, let's see, the next one was to maybe try adding this app in. This icon in, I should say, to our. Let's see if what could possibly go wrong, right? Let's see what happens.
I mean, what if we I see like John said, because remember John last week was following along and he said he also had to switch to Claude to complete everything.
All right, why don't we, you know what? Great suggestion. Let's stop that. I'm going to start a new chat. I'm going to switch our model to Claude Sonnet, and I will put the same prompt in. And we'll see.
I mean, the great thing is Copilot is multimodal, so we can choose so many different models when building our project.
Yeah, something new that I found out, I guess it's a week or so ago, is that in agent mode, it doesn't automatically add the context in anymore. You have to actually specify that.
What do you mean?
So like here, you have to hit this plus, and now it's added to your context. But by default, it's like while the file that's open is here, it's actually not using that file, right? Because you have to hit plus to add it. At least that's what I understood it to mean. Otherwise, I don't know why you have to put a plus here.
I think,
or maybe there's another reason why.
I think with agent mode, has the context of your entire project, right? Because it's able to go into your project and read the different files to see what's relevant to the request. Maybe the plus is there for like edit mode, for like ask mode and edit mode. Because I know in ask mode, you have to specify.
Yeah, if you were to switch this, you do. I'm just wondering then, why would you have a plus here? Enable current file. You see, it says enable current file context.
What?
You just learned something new today too.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is gonna create.
Let me open it and see.
Oh, cool! Now it's gonna update our cascading style sheet for us. Thanks for suggesting us to go to Claude 4. We needed an excuse.
I see here. I think you're right. I think like, because I clicked the plus button and it's and then there's a X that shows up. Interesting.
Like it may have your whole context, but maybe it's like, I don't know, like extra, like you're really pointing out, like, I want you to look at this file. Obviously, you still have the add context here where you can do what's open the editors and the MCPs and everything.
Someone says, idea for next Rubber Duck Thursday, monitor front-end performance on the client side. Interesting.
Nice.
I suppose the attachments are for strongly suggesting it look at those files. I think so.
Strongly suggesting so. That's what. Oh, awesome.
Yeah, I think so.
I was pretty sure it was something like that, but I'm glad we got it.
I'm glad everyone knows. Make sure to look at this one. Make sure.
This one is very important.
Okay, right. I see. There's a the design system coming into play now.
Yes. Still working, still working.
Mm-hmm. Claude's still going. I know Claude 3.5 is also really good too. I don't know, the suite of models that we have in here, they're very good. Most of them, anyway. Most of them are very good.
A very diplomatic way to put it, Kadesha. All right. Now we're getting to all the components. Oh, it's telling us to. So this is where I probably am not going to start.
Yeah.
I'm going to cancel that. And let's see what we got.
Whoa.
Wow, Claude Sonnet 4
That
comes through
is
again.
Incredible. I mean, it even added an image in the header. Like that is nice.
That image is from our repo, so it just pulled that in. And then we got our little nice little icons, leaderboard, some trophies,
smooth animations.
Yes. Yeah, I bet we got the little bicep here. Boom. So yeah. So yeah, we're
pretty good.
We have a nice front end to our app, some work to do on the back end for the data part, and make sure we have primary keys and everything's unique, so like we're not having duplicates there, and filling out some of the null values. But other than that, I think it's pretty easy to fix is if we were to continue on there. But at least we actually have a working app here right in our code space that we can, we can share this with someone else.
Absolutely. And this is something that you can build too. Like if you want to learn how to use GitHub Copilot, this repository is literally set up to guide you through the process on how you can build an application using GitHub Copilot. And as you see, the model you choose really dictates the output, and you can really get different outputs from different models. And go forth and build. The repository is linked right there, so you can go ahead and click it. Someone says, what :root mean in .css? I think it's a styling thing, right?
Yeah, cascading style sheet.
Cascading style, yeah.
That's what
it's
CSS
a pseudo class selector, yeah.
Yeah, the CSS here is for all the colors and patterns and basically a theme that you're creating, which if you use our GitHub Spark, it kind of does that for you, and you can mess around with that. But this is what happens on the back end for a cascading style sheet and
specifically the :root is a pseudo class selector, and it represents the root element of your document. So essentially it always represents like the HTML document itself, and it's how you declare like the global variable of your project.
So to continue on, we were successful in having all our endpoints. We passed all of this. And now we should get something that shows step 6, which we can now use some of the cool features of using pull requests, summaries, and having Copilot review our work for us. So we can come up to, actually, I think we're in the repo, so we can just go up to the top. We can do a compare and pull request. And then we have our nice title. We can then have Copilot write a summary.
Mm-hmm.
I also don't have it set up on this right now, but in the settings for a repository, I can show this. It's worth knowing. If you had wanted to set up a rule to have Copilot new branch rule set, and you wanted to add, where is it? Block requires scanning. Looking for, let's add main, include default branch, restrict, update, linear, pull request before merging, and then we could say like 1. But the other thing that I wanted to show is if you come down here, you can automatically have Copilot code review everything for you. So that means every review that comes in, Copilot's going to give you that without you actually having to specify like I did just now when I created the pull request.
Nice.
Oh, we're back.
I think did it stop generating?
I think because I went back. Yeah, let me just redo that.
Yeah.
I'll do a request too, like, because it's not automatic.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what Copilot comes up with.
Let me tell you something. I really love the PR description feature of GitHub Copilot and the summary and the overview, because the summary is just like a quick thing, but the overview gives you the details of all the files that you worked in. It's so good. I just click.
I agree. Yeah, so if you were to preview what this looks like, boom, you have a really good, I mean, any of us is not going to spend this much time on detailing.
No, absolutely not.
I think Kadesha actually was at a Universe 2 years ago where you said only like 40% of people fill in their pull requests.
Yeah.
I remember that. It stuck in my head. So now we have Copilot to help us along there, and then we can create the pull request, and we'll have some time where we'll come down here, and I've tagged Copilot to please review this for me. And the best part about this, everybody, is that now you don't have to, if there's any subtle things or maybe more complex things, you can work with Copilot before you even have another human being look at it to give you that kind of like blessing. Like it's already, we'll go through some of those things. You may agree with some of them, you may reject them, or you may say, great, just commit them in my repository because I think this is spot on. Copilot made the right call here. I need to update X or Y. And, then you can give it to a peer. And when they're like, oh, this is well formed, like you thought of all these things. Well, I had a little help from Copilot. So
I know you look like a pro with your AI system by your side.
Right. And then you'll have,
there it is.
You get a full layout of, let's see. So if we come down, starting from the bottom, we have that summary that, that some people don't like, right? It's a lot of info here, just talking about the files. And then, some other things that it recommends to do. Some of these will be things you may want to resolve, or you may want to make those updates. Generated this review using guidance from repository custom instructions. That's another feature. I don't know if you wanted to look through that, but this is about adding custom instructions to a repository. I don't know if it's worth putting that link in as well, sharing that one.
Yeah.
I think it's going to tell me that I can't share it, but yeah, let me just share it with you. I'll do it that way. Sorry. Yeah. And then what I'm hoping to see, what I like what Copilot does too, is when it just solves it for you, like this one, and it, instead of you having, getting the suggestion from Copilot, it's already made the change for you. It's up to you if you want to commit this. You can add an optional extended description here if you want. And let's see what it's saying. So it's saying the entire data creation logic is duplicated starting from line 48. This duplicated code should be removed to avoid creating duplicated database entries and improve maintainability, which is exactly the problem that we had. So it found that issue for us.
Exactly the problem. Yes, I love that.
So let's commit that. That's awesome. So that's exactly, while we were even working in our agent mode in our IDE, our code space, we got all that done. We knew what our problem was. We didn't know how to fix it right then and there. But then just by putting this review together, Copilot came back with a solution for us.
Exactly.
And so now if I come back here to our, let's bring this change down. And I wonder if.
And see, here's a comment about Copilot PR reviews. Yep, like me, it spotted I created a new type alias, but didn't update one of the signatures to use it, which of course didn't cause any linting or testing failures. Love that. And Copilot was able to find that for you in the initial review. That's great. That's awesome.
Yeah, for sure. So I can decide I'll resolve this conversation for now. I kind of want to just get to the merging of this. To kind of just show you the end result of, and we can always obviously open up more pull requests and iterate. But the thing that I wanted to show in our exercise is when we're all said and done, we achieved all of these checks here. We did the pull request. We talked about pull request summaries. And now that that's been merged, hopefully Mona recognizes that we've merged this into main. And it looks like it has. And then it gives us a nice review of what we've done here. It also recommends us some other GitHub Skills exercises that maybe we want to try, like this modernize your legacy code, for example. And then it will take you to the main, our GitHub Learn page where we have our skills right here.
Nice.
But that's a nice little summary. At this point, you've achieved everything. You can go turn to your repository home. I believe there used to be, or maybe it's not in mine, but there's a way to also post this on your socials too once you've completed. I know Alec on our team spent a lot of time getting that to work, where you kind of post these little exercises on your socials.
Yeah. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Cool.
And going through this entire process, you will learn so much. You will learn so much and build a full stack application. I think CS students especially could benefit from this because, it's a lot of theory in universities, and knowing how to build with AI is a very good tool, good skill to have. Sandhya says, if I want to see this video again, where can I find it? You can find it on LinkedIn, you can find it on YouTube, and you can also find it on Twitch because the recording will be stored there. So never fear.
We always have it.
Someone says, I'd like to make it on your show one day. You guys are always resolving errors and creating things. Yes, that's what we do on Rubber Duck Thursdays. We build, we resolve, we answer questions, and you learn. And it's a vibe, honestly.
Yeah, we love your questions, like recommendations, questions. It helps us then show those things, those features, or maybe create something new that we weren't even thinking of. I really think too, like these kinds of exercises walks through every aspect of using different pieces of the platform and gets you into that mode that maybe you create your own app or your own creation out of that.
Yeah. 100%. Well, I think that's all we have, right, Ari?
Yeah, that sums it up. Yeah, we did it all.
Yeah. I think that's the stream for today, y'all. If you want to, watch the replay because you missed the beginning, I would recommend that you start from last week's stream, because last week is when we really went into the details of the repository, the prompting files, the instructions, and that's when we built the backend database. And then this week is the wrap up of the project, where you just saw us build the front end of the application, and it turned out pretty colorful.
Yeah, we got it looking nice and pretty at the end. We just have to resolve our duplicate data, but yeah, we got it looking nice and pretty.
Yeah, and definitely check out the repo. It's linked right there. And I guess this has been Rubber Duck Thursday, right?
Yes.
I'll see y'all next week. Anything else you want to say, Ari?
No, that's all. Thanks for having me again, Kadesha. It was awesome. And thank you all, the audience, for bearing with us as we walk through this. I hope you enjoyed it.
All right.